The fight between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. has ignited a storm of controversy within the boxing world, with fans and analysts alike debating the fairness of the officiating and the final decision. While the bout officially ended in a majority draw, many observers believe that questionable refereeing and a disputed scoring system played significant roles in determining the outcome. The ninth-round incident, in particular, has become a focal point of discussions, with critics arguing that it may have unfairly influenced the result. During the ninth round, Davis found himself in a precarious situation after absorbing a powerful shot from Roach. The impact appeared to be significant enough to force Davis to take a knee, an action that typically results in an automatic knockdown ruling in professional boxing. Initially, the referee began a count, recognizing the sequence as a knockdown, but then abruptly stopped and allowed Davis to continue fighting without officially recording it as such. This decision was met with immediate backlash from Roach's team and boxing analysts, who contended that the referee's actions were inconsistent with standard boxing rules. The controversy surrounding this moment intensified when slow-motion replays showed Davis clearly making a voluntary decision to take a knee in response to Roach's punch, further supporting the argument that a knockdown should have been awarded. The role of the World Boxing Association (WBA) in handling the aftermath of the ninth-round incident also added fuel to the fire. Shortly after the fight, the WBA issued a statement defending the referee's decision, asserting that Davis had not been knocked down and that the call was correct. However, in a surprising turn of events, the statement was later removed from the WBA's official website, prompting widespread speculation about whether the organization had second thoughts or was simply responding to public criticism. The removal of the statement created even more controversy, as it raised questions about the transparency and integrity of the WBA's decision-making process. Some critics suggested that the organization might have been attempting to shield Davis from scrutiny due to his status as a major draw in the sport. Beyond the ninth-round controversy, the overall scoring of the fight also came under heavy criticism. Many observers felt that Roach was the more aggressive fighter throughout the match, consistently pressing forward and landing significant shots while dictating the pace. In contrast, Davis had his moments of brilliance but appeared to struggle during key exchanges, particularly in the later rounds. Despite Roach's relentless efforts and his ability to control large portions of the fight, the judges rendered a majority draw verdict. 2 of the 3 judges scored the fight evenly, while the third had Roach winning on his card. This outcome left many in the boxing community dissatisfied, as they believed Roach had done enough to secure a victory. The decision reignited long-standing concerns about inconsistent judging in the sport, with some fans and analysts questioning whether certain fighters receive favorable treatment based on their marketability rather than their performance in the ring. Another incident that raised eyebrows occurred in Davis's corner when his trainer, Calvin Ford, momentarily stepped onto the ring apron holding a white towel. In boxing, raising a white towel is widely interpreted as a signal of surrender, which typically results in an automatic stoppage. While Ford quickly backed away without officially throwing in the towel, the moment created confusion and speculation. Had the referee recognized this as an indication of surrender, the fight could have been stopped in Roach's favor. This development added yet another layer to the controversy, as it suggested that Davis's team may have been contemplating stopping the fight before ultimately deciding against it. Critics argued that such an action should have at least prompted the referee to intervene and clarify the situation, further underscoring the inconsistencies in the officiating throughout the fight. Prominent figures in the boxing world weighed in on the controversy, offering their perspectives on the legitimacy of the ninth-round incident and the overall fight scoring. Veteran referee Jack Rice and well-known promoter Eddie Hearn both emphasized that when a fighter voluntarily takes a knee during an exchange, it is typically ruled as a knockdown. Their interpretation aligned with the views of many fans and analysts who believed that the referee's decision to halt the count and allow Davis to continue without a knockdown ruling directly impacted the final scorecards. This viewpoint suggested that had the correct call been made, Roach could have secured a decisive edge on the judges' scorecards, potentially altering the outcome of the fight. Roach and his team did not take the result lightly and have since filed an official appeal, hoping for some form of reconsideration or corrective action from the boxing authorities. While appeals in boxing rarely lead to overturned results, they can sometimes result in rematches or official acknowledgments of judging errors. Given the level of controversy surrounding this fight, Roach's appeal could place additional pressure on the governing bodies to address the matter with greater transparency. Whether the appeal will have any tangible effect remains to be seen, but it has undeniably kept the debate alive and drawn further attention to the broader issue of inconsistent officiating in boxing. The implications of this fight extend beyond Davis and Roach, highlighting a persistent problem in boxing: the lack of consistency in officiating and scoring. Over the years, the sport has been plagued by controversial decisions that have sparked debates about fairness and transparency. Many fans and fighters have called for reforms aimed at improving accountability in the judging process. Suggestions for change include enhanced referee training, the implementation of instant replay for disputed moments, and clearer criteria for scoring fights. The controversy surrounding this bout underscores the urgent need for such reforms to prevent similar disputes from tarnishing the sport in the future. The response from boxing fans has been intense, with social media platforms flooded with discussions about the fight's outcome. Many expressed frustration, accusing the sport's governing bodies of protecting Davis due to his star power and marketability. This is not the first time a high-profile fight has been met with accusations of favoritism, and it likely will not be the last. The perception that certain fighters receive preferential treatment based on their commercial value is a persistent issue in boxing, and incidents like this only reinforce those concerns. Fans and analysts alike have voiced their dissatisfaction with the current system, calling for greater transparency and fairness in officiating and judging. Roach himself has been vocal about his disappointment, stating that he felt he had done everything necessary to win the fight and was unfairly denied a rightful victory. His frustration is understandable, as a win over Davis would have significantly boosted his career and potentially set him up for major opportunities in the division. Instead, he is now left to navigate the appeals process while hoping that his strong performance will still earn him another high-profile bout in the near future. Davis, on the other hand, has remained relatively quiet about the controversy, choosing not to engage much with the backlash. His supporters argue that he fought well enough to deserve the draw and that boxing, by nature, is a sport where judging is subjective. While this argument holds some merit, it does not erase the lingering doubts and frustrations surrounding the ninth-round incident and the overall decision. One of the biggest takeaways from this controversy is the urgent need for greater transparency in boxing officiating. The sport has long struggled with inconsistent refereeing and questionable scorecards, leading to numerous disputed outcomes. Many have suggested reforms such as the use of instant replay to review controversial moments, stricter enforcement of judging criteria, and increased oversight of referees and judges. Implementing these changes could help restore confidence in the integrity of the sport and prevent similar situations from occurring in the future. Despite the controversy, the fight itself was an electrifying contest that showcased the skill and determination of both fighters. Roach's relentless aggression and pressure made for an entertaining match, while Davis demonstrated his resilience and ability to survive difficult moments. Regardless of the official result, both fighters earned respect from fans for their performances. However, the unresolved nature of the dispute has left many feeling unsatisfied with how the fight played out. Looking ahead, the possibility of a rematch between Davis and Roach remains a significant talking point. Given the level of debate surrounding the first fight, a rematch would likely generate substantial interest and provide both fighters with an opportunity to settle the controversy definitively. Whether or not boxing's governing bodies will push for a rematch remains to be seen, but it would undoubtedly be a logical step toward resolving the lingering tensions surrounding the fight. Ultimately, this fight serves as yet another example of why boxing continues to face scrutiny over its judging and officiating standards. The ninth round incident, the WBA's retracted statement, the scoring disputes, and the actions of Davis's corner all contributed to a situation that left many frustrated with the sport. As Roach and his team continue to seek justice through their appeal, the boxing world will be watching closely to see how this situation unfolds and whether any meaningful changes will be made as a result.